1812, a time when Britain and Russia was in alliance. Obviously, it's a little bit odd to think that way now, especially in today's politics. Yes, Napoleon was the enemy. Napoleon wanted to go against Britain, and he wanted to total blockade trade from Britain, but Russia avoided. Russia said, "No, I don't want to go against Britain." He had nothing against Britain at that time. So, what happens? Napoleon saw this as a defiance against Napoleon by Russians. So he thought that I have to punish Russia for this negligence, defiance, and standing against Napoleon. And the only way of punishment was the only thing he knew, a total war. So he took the biggest army at that time the Europe had seen. At that time, 600,000 plus men he took from all his cavalry from everywhere and marched towards Russia. Obviously, Russia wasn't strong that much at that time. Considering Napoleon, it was nothing. He knew that it was an easy win and he is going to crush them and make them surrender, then ask them to do what he wants. But Russian, as usual, they said, "Come and take it." Napoleon went in there unaware of the weather. People just know that okay, there was frostbite, frozen weather, everything. That's why the army was devastated. No, it was the defiance of the Russian army. They said, okay, take our land, but we will not give you our soul. So what have they done? The French soldier said that it is said by a French soldier that the enemy is retreating. The enemy is retreating, but they're burning everything behind them. So what were they doing? As soon as the Napoleon army was coming down, they were retreating back and they were burning all the crops, all the villages, poisoning every well, so they cannot have a good water. So they were doing retreat, but wasting everything for the enemy. So they had to face nothing. They were not provided with food, shelter, anything. Nothing was given to them, to the enemy. So they said that the enemy is retreating but burning everything behind them. Then what happened? This is not the end. Now, when they went into Moscow, Napoleon went into Moscow, he was expecting a retreat there as well and a surrender later on. But he found nothing but burning of the city. It is said that by the orders of officials of Russian military, it was ordered to burn down Moscow. That is why it is said that one third of Moscow was burned down into ashes. And uh, Napoleon, he waited there for 5 weeks. And it is said by Napoleon himself that this is the most devastating thing I have ever seen. The most devastating thing I have ever said. Because Napoleon never expected that Russians will burn their own city like into ashes. Then he waited there furthermore to get a surrender call or negotiation. But the Russians said there will be no negotiations, so there will be no surrender. He waited there, but the army was so much devastated they could not bear the weather. They were dying of weather, food, hunger, diseases, everything, and they were ambushed by Russian soldiers as well randomly. So what happens? Can you imagine how many were left when they came back? When the Napoleon's army came back, only 100,000 people left out of 600,000. Imagine that was the beginning of downfall of Napoleon. Otherwise, he would have gathered Russian army as well, that resilience, and came towards Britain. But that was the blueprint that set the downfall of Napoleon. Hopefully, that makes us understand that how a human mind can destroy everything, even a lot bigger than them, when it is about your soul and your freedom and intellectual capacity.